I could use a warm-up.
Hey guys, so something I just realised on rewatching Furiosa. Did you guys realise that in the green place, right at the start there, as they're riding out on the horse to try and get Furiosa back, that there is a fat woman there, like just standing there, and like this is the post-apocalypse. Like, how would she still be fat? Yeah, like that's just completely unnecessary for the story, right? It was only put in there to clearly appease, you know, degenerate feminist, queer theorist Marxists that are like deliberately trying to destroy the categories of fat and unfat, even though all these fat influencers seem to be dying at like mid-30s. Like, yeah, I'm glad there was like no more of that shit really throughout the movie. But right at the start there was fat acceptance at the green place. Perhaps it deserved to be conquered. I mean, it's literally only for like 4 seconds or so, if that. But quite frankly, that's fucking enough for me these days. Anyway, on to the proper video. Why I believe there is probably something to ghosts that skeptics just dismiss. So, it may not seem like it, but I am actually university educated in the STEM field. Electricians have this tool called an EMF detector. Basically, I use it to check for voltage and charge in cables and stuff. So ghost hunters use these things, right? They're called EMF detectors. They detect electrical fields, movement of electrons, movement of charge, right? You typically only get a reading with them when you hold them up to, you know, live wires or, you know, partially dead wires, that sort of thing. Like, you'll get a little readout. The little light things will light up. The more lights you get on it, the stronger the electric field. A while ago, I went on a haunted ghost tour, and I know what you're saying. Oh, it's just confirmation bias. You're fucked in the head. Yeah. They had an EMF detector on the ghost tour, right? And this is like probably at like, you know, 12 to 1 o'clock at night. It was a haunted quarantine station. It's in Australia. It's in the sort of Sydney area. What they used to do was, obviously back in the day, you know, there was a ton of horrible diseases, particularly around World War One, World War Two. You know, the whole Spanish flu and, you know, tuberculosis and all that sort of shit, right? So what they would do with people coming into Australia was they would quarantine them at this place and hold them there to make sure they weren't sick. Unfortunately, if there were sick people there, a lot of them tended to get sick. Yeah, I know. A bit rough, but, you know, necessary, I guess. Yeah, kinda. Anyway. So the theory was, ton of people suffered there, ton of people died there. All the negative emotion, you know, somehow, you know, reduced the line between reality and the warp, I guess you'd say. I don't know, whatever you want to call it, warp, afterlife, you know, whatever. Apparently intense suffering and that sort of thing can do that. Anyway, long story short, had an EMF device on there. We were walking down this, you know, street between these, you know, separate, you know, white painted building settlement things on stilts, where, you know, the sick people were kept and theoretically died. It was kind of out on just a regular road, There was nothing around. There was no wires underneath the roads. There was no wires, you know, besides the buildings. There was no overhead power lines, anything like that. And we got an EMF reading just regularly walking down the road, and it was a strong one. It was like 4 of the 5 lights, and it just lit up randomly when we were walking down the road. Now, that would indicate a reasonably, you know, a pretty strong electric field, right? The fact that we got that and there was nothing around to explain it, that I could see at least. Look, maybe, you know, there's some other explanation. Maybe, like, perhaps, you know, the moon or the sun spinning can give off a solar flare, which can cause randomized electric fields when you're just walking somewhere, and we just happen to walk past one of them. I don't know. Perhaps there's some sort of, you know, astrophysics explanation, you know, astronomy related explanation, something to do with, you know, Earth's magnetic field, hitting something just right, whatever. Couldn't tell ya. We got a single, you know, 4 out of 5 light reading on the EMF device, just walking down the road. No wires, no nothing near it. So we stayed there a while after that to try and, you know, get it to repeat its reading. And it stayed nothing the whole rest of the time. Yeah. So, people will say, oh, it's not repeatable. It's not a repeatable experiment, therefore bullshit, right? Yeah, maybe, but you're not also explaining the initial, you know, strong reading of 4 out of 5 on the EMF thing, indicating some sort of strong electrical field there. Like, what was that? What kind of... Like, it's not raining, it's not thunderstorms, it's not windy, so there wouldn't be any static electricity or anything there, right? What was the initial reading then? Was it the device just shitting itself? Like, it's possible, right? But, you know, might have been ghosts, unexplained. And you see this sort of shit on ghost hunting shows all the time. And, like, that phenomena in itself is not given any credit or credence, right? It's, you know, it's indicating something there. It's indicating a reasonably strong electrical field. That is evidence of something. That's evidence of something that's not explained. Like, say that you're walking through an old, you know, haunted building or anything, and there's, like, wires from the roof. There might be, like, you know, you might get an electric field around one of those wires or something like that, right? Or there's, you know, old, you know, light tubes that are, like, shattered. They might still have some charge in them, like, something like that. Or, you know, just even, you know, wires in walls and stuff in old buildings. Like, that sort of shit is possible. But we weren't near anything. No wind for static electricity, nothing like that. Night time, so you got no sun charging up, like, Velcro and cotton shirts, like, all that sort of thing. No static electricity, nothing like that. No wires around, no wires underneath the roads. No wires overhead. What could it have been? So anyway, that's just my personal anecdotal experience with ghosts. And, like, a ton of people have that sort of thing, right? They feel touches, they, you know, feel someone's breath on them, they feel someone talking to them. All that sort of thing. Like, you can dismiss all of that, I guess, as just, you know, suggestion or whatever. But pretty hard to dismiss the electrical field evidence, right? Like, you're gonna have to show me something pretty hardcore that has the ability to create random electrical fields that aren't anywhere near, like, overhead power lines or anything like that. Like, on top of that, you've got, like, other weird shit that happens, right? Like, some of the people that, you know, first broke into one of the pharaoh's tombs. I can't remember which one, but apparently there was said to be a curse on the tomb, and then like what, four people-ish died, that sort of thing. Or like the, you know, who was it? Someone crashed their car. It was like a famous celebrity. They had like a fiberglass car. They crashed it and died. Anyway, the car was ripped up into like pieces and sold off. And it wound up that all the other cars that received pieces, you know, secondhand pieces of this car, wound up crashing themselves. Like, that was one of the inspirations for, I think it was Christine, the Stephen King, John Carpenter movie, I think it was. But like, just shit like that, right? Where, okay, you're needing what? Several multiples of very, very rare instances of shit happening in order to, you know, get that. So, like, I don't know what the odds are of crashing a car. I suppose I could look it up. So, the chances of having a car accident are, for every 1,000 miles, it's 1 out of 366. So it was within like 100 miles for, I think it was like 4 or 5 separate people, they had a car accident. So basically divide that by, let's say 10, we'll say 100 miles, it's probably less than that. Okay, divided by 10 would be 1 out of 3,660. You'd have to multiply that number together by about what, 5 times? That would give you odds of, righto, so the odds would be 5.57 times e to the power of negative 15. That is an extremely small percentage chance of happening, nearly non-existent, right? Your odds would be you would win the lottery like, you know, 100 times before that happened. That is just, you know, a non-existent event, right? So there's probably some other shit going on to explain it. Like, the simplest explanation's probably, you know, better. The odds of that are so low that that's not the simplest explanation. And like, in addition to that, you have all these, you know, famous people and shit that swear by manifestation. Manifestation has worked for me a little bit, but not, you know, fucking not a lot, right? I mean, I'll have to, you know, take back my words once, like, you know, this YouTube channel blows up and I have, you know, a ton of passive income. Like, fair enough, I'll go, yeah, righto, it's not bullshit. But you've got people that swear by that as well. In addition to that, you have, what are they called? People that have claimed to be, you know, possessed by demons and shit. Now, there is like a psychological explanation for that. You know, pure suggestion, and, you know, the exorcism itself is suggestion of not being possessed by demons anymore, therefore it cures the, you know, the illness that was brought on by the suggestion of illness. Like, fair enough, you can have that, but then you've also got, you know, what was that German lady? There was a German lady who was possessed. And she was like talking in tongues and doing all sorts of weird shit. There's been other ones that have, you know, claimed to be floating and all that sort of thing. And yeah, like, okay, maybe it's all bullshit, maybe it's not. I haven't heard an explanation for the electrical fields yet, though. So, I mean, do you know? Like, I'm saying I don't know, but I'm also saying you don't know. But if that's the case and neither of us know, then it doesn't get to be disrespectfully dismissed, condescendingly dismissed. You know what I mean? Like, that in itself is its own ignorance, that things like that would be dismissed that easy. Yeah. Like, that sort of arrogance you see in other things as well. Like, you know, university-educated Marxists that, you know, fall into simple logical fallacies like appeals to authority and that sort of shit. It's a type of arrogance that's just, you know, ignorant based on narcissism and doesn't take into account the evidence, doesn't take into account anything else. Yeah, so can't be dismissed. Just saying.
Find the van!
Over here! They went over there! Here! Shit, let go! Come on, easy, take it! Nice work.
Claro que sí. Fuck! ¡Mierda! ¡Hijo de puta!